Okay, so here is the kitchen before we start our project. As you can see, this is tile and the grout is literally impossible to get clean. I have bleached it, magic eraser, scrubbed it, I don't know why anybody would think it's a good idea to put tile on your countertops, but it's a terrible idea. So, same over here on the island. I know, guys, I know it looks super dingy. I swear I clean it. It just does not want to come out of that grout. So, this is what it looks like as we're starting the project. I'm gonna back you up and show you a big view of the kitchen. Okay, so we made a little hiccup. You're supposed to do 2 parts powder to 1 part water. That's why it was watery. So we're adding the other 2 cups. So we've got 4 cups of powder and 2 cups of water. And we're stirring it. We're making it like cement. Okay, it's starting to look a little more doughy like.
It's a workout.
Okay, so all the blogs that we read said that we need to do thin layers and let it dry. So that is the plan. Here we go. No going back. Okay, so we got our first coat on. As you can see, there's a little bit of the tile peeking through, which is okay because it's all gonna dry and then we're gonna sand it and then we'll do another coat again and we'll see how close. For the edges right here, I ended up just using my finger to kind of go and get the first base coat down because the spatula just wasn't working. So got one little section done and that's what it looks like. No turning back now. All right, so here's our progress. We got the backsplash done. First layer over there. I worked over here a little bit. I know that looks like I dropped some, but that's just my cabinets chipping. That's okay, we're gonna do those next, babe. He's ignoring me. So we're making progress. We've been at it for about how long? Maybe 45 minutes, an hour?
Probably 45.
Not too terribly long. And so one of the important things that we figured out is you can only mix about 2 cups at a time because it does dry so quickly that it starts to clump up. So we're only doing 2 cups at a time and then rinsing it out and mixing more now. Okay, so the first layer of everything is officially done. We did go back and tape off the sink. As you can see, we're going to pull that up in just a minute. Once we're done with everything, we'll go back and caulk it around. But yeah, everything is done for now. So we will see.
So what are you doing here?
So I'm using my finger to get the edges because the scraper that we're using will not work. And this is the easiest way. So I'm literally just gunking it on my finger and like smoothing it out. Okay, so we've got the second coat down on the countertop part. We're about to do the backsplash and then we are still on our first coat over here, but I'm about to start that. One of the things that I would recommend if you do this project yourself is to tape off. What we did was we taped off the sink and then we put the first layer down and then we pulled it up after it dried for maybe like 5 or 10 minutes. And then for the second layer we re-taped it so it got a nice clean line, which we're going to go back and put like grout here and like re-caulk everything. But I don't suggest leaving the paint on there.
The tape.
or the tape on there too long, the painter's tape, because it will concrete to your sink. So, and we're just kind of taping things off as we get to it instead of doing the whole thing. Okay, so we've almost gotten everything covered. Starting to look pretty good. Everything's covered. We're about to start sanding. We have sanded a little bit already. This stuff gets everywhere. So because I have a big opening in my house, we got a big tarp and closed off like the sections that were open. Closed the door to the laundry room. We're going to close that bedroom door. Got as much stuff as we could out of here. So it was less to clean because it's going to be a whole thing to clean after this. But good news is the countertops are starting to look good. Starting to look like concrete, which is exciting. So that little section right over there, I'm about to finish puttying, and then we're gonna sand everything and probably do a third layer, sand it, and then we'll start putting the impregnator. Yeah, putting the impregnator on. As you can see, when we started to sand, there's little, hold on, let me focus. There we go. Okay. So as you can see, there's like little spots that are starting to come through when we sand, which is fine because we're going to do at least one more coat, probably, of everything. You can see it over here too. It's coming through a little bit, but that's okay. So that's where we're at. So, babe, explain what you did. You took the big sander first.
Yeah. I took the big sander with 80 grit sandpaper to knock off all the really rough edges, and then I did 120 grit to kind of flatten it all out good and smooth it out a little bit. And now we're going back and hand sanding the spots that we can't really get to with the electric sander.
So basically we just are sanding the crap out of it.
Yeah, sanding the crap out of it.
And then what's the plan for the spots that are peeking through still?
So the spots that are coming through, we're gonna go back and spot treat those with a little bit more of the concrete mix, and we are going to let that dry and then come back and sand it smooth, but don't sand it too much that it shows through again. Just enough to get it smooth.
Okay, so we are getting closer to the final product.
Oh yeah, I'd say so.
I would say maybe by the end of the day we'll be able to put on the impregnator.
What an impregnator. Probably. We'll be impregnating by the start.
Okay, so now we have gotten some putty and we're hitting all the little spots that came through after we sanded. Okay, so for this last batch, we're straying from the original recipe. We're doing 2 cups of the concrete mix and 1.5 cups of water to thin it out a little bit so that we can do the last layer.
And we're back.
It's going on like butter.
So we have started applying the thinner coat, and it is really going on smooth. So this is Pam working hard right here, making this smooth.
My suggestion to anyone wanting to do this project is to start off with this ratio if you have a flat surface.
Yeah.
But if you have a surface like we have, then you're definitely going to probably want to go in a little thicker.
Yeah, we went thicker at the beginning because we had to account for the crevices where the grout was and things like that with the tile, because the tile just wasn't completely even. So I think this made sense for us. But if you were starting,
if you have a flat surface,
if you're starting with linoleum or just flat surface laminate, that's what I meant, not linoleum. I don't know what I'm saying. Then you would want to probably go this route, or all the way from the beginning.
Okay, we have officially finished everything as far as what has to happen before we put the impregnator on. So that is what we are about to do. So stay tuned to see how it looks. Okay, sorry, we had a little bit of a time gap. We lost the camera in the chaos of my house. You can see behind me that everything is just a mess. So we got 2 coats of the impregnator on the countertops, and in a few hours we're going to put the first coat of the final seal. So this is what it looks like with the 2 coats of the impregnator. So that white is going to be covered up by my oven, so I'm not really concerned about that. Same on the bottom there, but you can see it's starting to look really good. It's nice and smooth. Here's this over here, nice and smooth. There's some texture on the back, which I don't mind. I kind of like that. That's what I was going for. So that's where we're at. Okay, so the first coat of the actual sealer is on, and it looks really nice. So we will probably do at least 2 more coats, possibly 3, but for sure 2. And it's turning out really good. Coat numero dos. It's looking really good. I'm very excited. I can't wait to get like the kitchen back together and see how it looks, because it's looking really good. Okay, we just put the last coat of sealant on, and it's looking amazing. I'm really happy with it. We gotta get light covers still, because I think that's gonna make it look just finished, because we got some gunk on ours, so we're gonna replace those. But I'm happy with the way it turned out. Okay, so the countertops are officially done. Sorry, I'm making dinner, so just excuse that, but this is what they look like. So yeah, we put 3 coats of sealer and waited 24 hours before we put stuff on them. I will let you know how they hold up, but for right now we really like them. Excuse the dishes in the sink, haven't had time to do anything, so here we are. DIY project complete.